the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water.
2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game.
You're tripping.
How high? No,
Greatest fucking Super Bowl time.
I don't know what we're doing in that front office, man.
Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Her upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches in the
What is going on, folks? Welcome back to After Further Review. This is episode 221. I am your co-host, Jay Brown.
I am your other co-host, Malin Dennis.
I'm your other great co-host, Nestor.
And I am your favorite special guest co-host, Junebug Spade.
Yes, gentlemen, I want to thank you all for doing the show on a Thursday night in the expedited format that we're going to have here. We've got a lot to talk about, and I don't want to waste any time. So let's just hop right into the first topic of the week, here, which we are going to quickly recap the last week of the regular season in the NFL. And we're going to
We're
start.
not even doing shots.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Shit. God damn.
I'm trying to get to
No.
Yeah. God damn.
Shot.
All right, here we go.
It's air for me tonight.
What did you just say, Nestor?
It's air for me tonight. Spiritually drinking a bourbon. A shot of bourbon.
Okay. Falcons, Panthers, 44-28 was the final score in overtime. June, let's start with you. How big of a disappointment was this season for Atlanta?
I mean, it was a big disappointment. This team was poised to make a deep run in the playoffs, in my opinion. I thought they had the roster to do it. I thought they had the talent to do it. And if you put all those factors together, it comes down to one thing. It comes down to poor coaching in the season. I can't blame Kirk Cousins. We can put some blame on him, but when you see a collapse like this, you have to blame the coaching. I know we're speeding up. I want to talk about Kyle Pitts for just a second. Raheem Morris, you got to get yourself an offensive coordinator to get that man the football. I mean, he only had 47 catches this year, 602 yards. I mean, you got to get that man the ball. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I'll tell you, man.
It's offensive coordinator. It's the coaching of this team, and I'm not going to be surprised that next year if Raheem Morris they fail to make the playoffs for his third season, that he doesn't get fired.
I'm going to go just real quick because I'm going to echo exactly what you just said. For Raheem Morris, I think is the only reason they did not make the playoffs because there were some times down the stretch of the season where there was some pretty bad clock management, and I think he was most definitely to blame there. I'm surprised that he's lasted this far. Like, I thought they were going to get rid of him, but we'll see what happens. Malin, if you want to go next, can't see you right now. I'm not sure if I can hear you.
Oh. My bad.
There you are.
Whoopsie. Hey, so I'm going to lay this mainly at the feet, I think, of the general manager because I don't think this is what Raheem Morris's first year as a head coach with the Falcons. This is his first year, right? Or is this year number 2 with him?
This is year 2.
I still think that the general manager has more play in deciding depth charts than Raheem Morris. Raheem Morris is more of a yes man, I feel, as a head coach. Because he's just happy to be a head coach, right? So he's not really going to ruffle a lot of feathers. You give that much money to Kirk Chains, and he playing like dog shit for half the year, and you don't put in Michael Penix Jr. early. If they put in Michael Penix Jr. 2 games earlier, even if it was just 2 games, Falcons are in the playoffs. Like the Tampa fans down here can be like, "Oh, hey, we won the division 4 years." Shut the fuck up! You won the division because the Falcons did not play Michael Penix Jr. earlier in the year. If they'd have played them earlier in the year, y'all wouldn't have won the division. And they're not going to win the division next year because Michael Penix Jr., best quarterback in that division. It's not even close. Well, it is close because Baker Mayfield's doing some shit. But no, so I'm going with the general manager with this Kirk Cousins deal, man. You gave him so much money you didn't have to give him because he wanted to come to Atlanta anyways because his wife is from Atlanta. You didn't have to back up the Brinks truck to him. He'd come there anyways. Minnesota didn't want him anymore. They didn't know they wanted Sam Darnold, but they knew they wanted J.J. McCarthy. But you give him all that money, so you're trying to make good on your investment. You're trying to save your job as a GM. You're probably telling them, no, give Kirk O'Chains a little bit more. Keep in mind that Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles tendon at like the first week of September. Kirk Cousins did it at the end of October. He was not healthy when this year started. He just wasn't. Like, it takes longer than 11 months to come back from an Achilles tendon tear, whether you're playing whatever sport, whether it's basketball or football, whatever. So he wasn't really as healthy as what he was trying to lead on. He had one good game, and I just feel like this might be my last time to bring it up. But somebody said that he was going to start the rest of the year based on that one game. But it didn't pan out. But it's because they just should have gone to Penix sooner, man. And it's not really. I hear what you're saying with the whole Pitts. At this point, like I'm starting to think he has an allergy to the football, or he just can't catch it. Because he's like playing hot potato and causing an interception with Michael Penix, just dropping shit all over the place. Or maybe he's just in with bookies, and just decided that he just can't catch the football. But there's something going on with Kyle Pitts. I don't think there's an offensive coordinator in the NFL that can solve the Kyle Pitts problem. I think he's the problem. He's like the Jeremy Stevens of 2005, 2006 Seattle Seahawks. All the talent in the world, you should be great, but you're not because you're a dumbass. So, yeah. It is a waste of a season because they could have won the division. That's all I'm saying.
They should have. Go ahead, Nestor.
Yeah, I'll go quickly. I thought, like I said in the beginning of the season, I thought it's gonna come down to one game, and I thought Atlanta was gonna show up these last two games, and that was gonna be it for Tampa's reign of that division. But it didn't happen. Just the coaching and the management is terrible, and there's no excuse for that. Why they're not in the playoffs right now. So yeah.
Another team that did not make the playoffs. The Dolphins. They fell the Jets 32-20. So my question is, how big of a disappointment was this particular season?
It's a big disappointment, but it's not a surprise. I think a lot of fans are not happy that McDaniels is still there, and more than that, then Greer is still there because we felt like some management change was needed. Not that they want to reset and do everything all over again. I'm not sure if that's the way to go, but yeah, we don't have a healthy quarterback, and even at his best, we struggle to beat teams above 500 because he's not a great quarterback. On top of that, I'm glad if Hill wants to go ahead, dude. Don't waste the last year you have of your talented career. Go to the Panthers. Go ahead. I am very disappointed, but it's not like it's a surprise at this point. And that's about it.
June, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm very disappointed in the Dolphins, man. I had this team I had them up on the pedestal as a team to beat this season in the AFC. I really thought this could be a team that could really challenge the Kansas City Chiefs getting into the playoffs. I thought they had a chance of having a great record, but I understand, Tua, he's got to stay healthy, man. I mean, I don't know what you do in that situation if your quarterback can't stay healthy. That's the biggest hold. For me, for the Dolphins, the biggest hold is the quarterback not being able to be healthy. Every time he gets touched, it's a concussion. So at some point, the Dolphins have got to say to themselves, we're going to have to scrap this guy. We're going to have to move on. And now that you got Tyreek Hill wanting to move on, you got all these people wanting to move on. I would definitely take this off season. I would evaluate what I have, and if I need to move on from Tua, I think I would. I really think I would, and that's my opinion on the situation.
I just don't know that Miami can move on from these people. I would need to look. I would want to look at the contracts and see what the dead money cap would be. And some of these people, you're going to have to trade some assets, obviously. But you have what, like $70-some million tied into Tyreek Hill, Waddle, and Tua right now. A-Chain is on a rookie deal. I think Mostert's going to be a free agent. G Money might be looking up dead money cap right now. I just saw him on the computer. I think he's looking up dead money cap. To me, it's yes, you have a Tua problem, but I think you also have an identity problem to where you sometimes they want to run the ball, sometimes they want to pass the ball. They're not very fluid as far as what their game-to-game game plan. I feel like they have a lack of identity because they don't have a lot of cohesiveness with Tua because he misses so much. And that damn defense, man, I don't know what it is with that defense. Like, I get someone like Tyreek Hill out and saying, I want to leave, right? Jalen Ramsey, sir, you're lucky you have a job in the NFL. I don't think you really have the luxury of putting it out there on X of, oh, this is it, and I need to go, and yada yada. Like, where are you gonna go, man? Everybody's seen you get burnt up. Like, damn. Like, I don't know if he has a home in LA, but it's probably burnt up like his season was because he got toasted the whole goddamn year. And so
good God, man,
he was just bad, right? I mean, how does Aaron Rodgers be dog shit the whole year? I don't even think he had double-digit touchdowns before the last game of the year. Right. And he comes out there and just torches the shit out of the Miami defense. I mean, made him look like, hey, I should be an MVP candidate after this game. So, I mean, that's just wild. So not only do you have an identity problem on the offense, you got a health issue, you got a bunch of egos on offense, and then you got a shit defense. So how we didn't see this coming, the caution lights were there, but we ignored them. Nestor just put his blinders on, and now he's really sad about it. And I would be too. No, I would be. Like, it sucks when you think your team should be able to do something and they don't, because G Money and I went through that for about 4 years with the Seahawks, for every single year, like the 4 to 5 years after we lost Super Bowl 49, like, yeah, we should be in that conversation to get to the NFC Championship game. And then your team just does shit that leaves you scratching your head and taking years off your life. So we get it. I feel for you a little bit, Nestor. Not really, because you got an ugly ass chandelier above your head. But yeah, that's the Dolphins in a nutshell.
Yeah, the Dolphins mimicked the 49ers, where the Niners spend a lot of money to try and win championships. And the Dolphins just couldn't do that. I mean, right now, I was looking at the cap situation for the Dolphins for next year. Yeah. I mean, Tyreek Hill, dead cap, $56 million. Jalen Ramsey, should I say, dead cap hit, $49 million. I mean, damn. I don't know who you're going to trade these people to. I mean, and Tua, dead cap. Say hello to Russell Wilson, $83 million.
Jesus Christ!
So you can cut these people. You can do that. I mean, if we can thank Denver for anything, they walked away from Russell Wilson and took that cap hit. And then the Giants learned, hey, you know what? If they can do it, we can do it. So yeah, teams are
Yeah.
learning that they can do it.
They can do it, yeah.
You can't continue to pay players and not be able to put a sporting cast around them. And Tua, man, he's one concussion away from never playing anything again. Well, not just football, but the ability to sit down and play cards with someone.
Shuffleboard.
Yeah, I mean, I
That's
feel
the
for the
danger.
kid. I mean, super dangerous, super dangerous. So yeah, you spend a lot of money, and I can't fault the owner or the GM for that because they wanted to win.
Yeah.
And they thought that was the way to do it, and unfortunately, it wasn't.
I will agree with you on that, G Money, that when they sign these people to their contracts, the only one that would give me a little bit of cause to pause maybe would have been Tua, but you had already sunk all that money into the offense and everybody else that you weren't really in a position to start over at quarterback. So, I mean, they did what I feel like most teams would have done. It just didn't work out. Unlike the Mets in baseball, G Money. They put all that money years ago, and the Padres, too, put all that money into them rosters, and it didn't work out. But I'd rather, I mean, Nestor, just be lucky that you're a fan of an organization that's willing to put the money out there and willing to make those types of choices. Because there's a lot of teams out there that would never do that and don't even want to try to win. Teams like Tennessee, that they're allergic to good players. They get rid of all of them. So,
hey, Danny Dimes is not going to be out there.
Danny Dimes. Ooh, man, he might look good in some teal and orange.
Let's go to the next one here. Let's just rapid fire this one real quick. How far in the playoffs do you guys think the Lions are going to go? Because they locked up the number 1 seed against the Vikings. What round do you think they're going to hit? Or do you think they're going to go all the way? I'm in the camp. I think they'll win the NFC. That's my expectation for them.
Yeah.
They should be representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. What do you guys think? June, let's start with you.
Hey, they're going to the Super Bowl. They proved last week how good they were. So, yeah.
Malin.
I'm going to go a step further. Like, I think they should probably win the Super Bowl. To be honest, man, like, injuries don't affect these people. And it's not like any of these teams in the AFC, it's not like they don't have any warts themselves. You know what I mean? Like, maybe Buffalo would be the best matchup against them. I don't know. Like, Baltimore sometimes doesn't even show up to a game they should win because they're so offensively talented. And Kansas City has had tons of issues on offense. But I just think, like, the way that defense played, if you get that same performance out of that Detroit defense that you got Sunday night, there's no reason why they shouldn't. I think they're crazy enough to pull it off, and I think it'd be a really great story.
I think they're going to be glazing Mahomes in 3 months from now. And the debate is going to be on there with about Brady or Mahomes. Even though the Chiefs won't win the Super Bowl, I think it's going to be the Lions. And we're going to have this whole damn debate 3 months after where that's what we're going to be seeing, apart from the celebrations in Detroit or the chaos. But yeah, I agree with me. Win it.
Go ahead, G-Money.
Now I got him going to the NFC Championship game. I do believe injuries will catch up to them, and I think they'll face better quarterbacks than Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold showed who he was, right? I mean, they brought blitzes from different areas against him, and he didn't know what to do. I think you do that against Stafford, he'll know what to do. Even Baker Mayfield, if he gets that far, I think they'll know what to do. And I think Philly's O-line is better than Detroit's D-line. So if they play, yeah, I don't see them going past the NFC Championship game, but I do see them getting there.
Galen, real quick, I will say I think that Detroit has an opportunity to make a mistake. And that mistake is feeding the ball to Montgomery too much. I think that they have seen something in Gibbs that he could be that every down back. You don't need the Sonic and Knuckles. That man is explosive. That running game was even more potent when Montgomery was out. I think that if anything, Detroit has an opportunity to waste carries and offensive potency and moving the ball downfield and explosiveness by feeding the ball Montgomery, he's more of a muscle back, but he's already going to be a little bit slower because he's trying to come back from the MCL injury. So I really hope they don't do that.
I feel that. All right. We're going to save the big board for next week just for time reasons. That's not going anywhere. Before we hit the news, though, G-Money's here
Oh, I
now.
look at my big board.
I wanted to give our props to the winner of our fantasy league this
Yes.
year. G-Money took the whole cake this year. Our 2024-2025
Yes.
AFR champ.
Thank
G-Money himself.
And I finished ahead of June and Nestor, so I feel good about that.
Well, I was ahead of KU Colts, so I feel bad about that. That's terrible, actually.
I won.
Ah.
But I won with Huntley as my quarterback the last week against June, so didn't even need Tua. And that's because
I mean,
It
I
doesn't
was
make it better.
I was trying to get Jalen to help me because I was trying to change out a tight end, and I needed to move someone out of the IR. And there was water on my phone, and it told me I had to drop somebody, and it dropped Jared Goff on Sunday. I was like, oh, I don't have a quarterback now because I had already gotten rid of Stafford, so I didn't have a quarterback. It was like Huntley, Aaron Rodgers, or like one other quarterback, and I was like, man, I don't know what to do. So,
G-Money, is there anything you want to mention about your championship run?
I just want to thank Lamar Jackson for actually showing up in the playoffs. It was much
There you go.
appreciated.
Don't pick him next year, dude.
I as well called him the Baltimore Tacoma crushing your nuts, man. You got so much
I
points
tell ya.
out of Derrick Henry and Lamar
I
Jackson.
know. It's crazy.
I know.
Crazy stat.
It was crazy.
I know what I'm doing next
I
year.
feel like the first 5 weeks of the year, I wasn't sure he was going to lose a game. I was like, damn, I don't know how we got Lamar and Henry. Jesus.
You see, then you saw what happened when they didn't play well. It's like those two got me most of my points every single game.
Yeah, the only time he lost is when the Ravens lost.
Right. All right, let's go to the news where we will just pump these out really quick here. Some head coaches were fired. My Patriots got rid of Jared Mayo. There was, Doug Peterson fired from the Jags. Was it yesterday, Antonio Pierce is actually fired from the Raiders. I might be missing somebody else even more recent, but out of those guys, is there anybody that you think was wrongly fired?
I thought Jared Mayo was a surprise. I mean, you give him 1 year. He's got a rookie quarterback. The team wasn't good when he took over. I mean, you just look at them last year, and you decide you want to fire him, right? I'm like, why? Why? I mean, you should. If he'd had Tom Brady and the team played like they did, yeah, fire him because you should win. But my God, Drake May, and he didn't start Drake May at the beginning of the season anyway. I'm like, man, that was a surprise, and it probably was unwarranted. You needed to give him 1 more year and see what he could do and the team he could build.
June, I think you're on
Hey.
mute.
I think that Mayo. I think the more travesty thing with him is that, yeah, he got fired, but I don't think he ever should have been hired.
Exactly.
I don't think that Robert Kraft had a plan after Belichick. He just knew he didn't want Belichick. And I think they kind of shit the bed when it came to the hire. He tried to get somebody within the Patriots to continue the Patriot way. You need, when you get rid of someone like Belichick, you need a culture change. You need somebody fresh, somebody that's not connected to the old regime. And I just don't think that was the spot for a first-year head coach. Just like I think that Antonio Pierce could end up being a good head coach, but I don't think a spot like the Raiders is where you want to have your first head coaching job. Like, I feel like both of them were set up for failure. Now with the Jags, yeah, your ass is gone. You stir. What happened? What the hell happened? But I think Pierce and Mayo, I don't think they should have been the head coaches to begin with, because I don't think it was the right fit or the right time or the right place to be a first-year head coach. I think they were set up to fail. And hopefully they get another chance at another time. But, yeah. We'll see who these people bring in. I'm hearing some crazy names, though, man. Like, I'm hearing John Gruden being put up for jobs
the
again.
Raiders?
I was like, not for the Raiders. No, that would be wild if John Gruden came
I'd
back.
actually heard that
Really?
it was
Jesus.
the
With Aaron
Review
Rodgers.
Journal
You heard
was
that
talking
too?
about that.
Wow, that would be wild.
I know. That would be wild.
I mean, I know that Pete Carroll just interviewed with the Bears, and I actually think that if there's a position that Pete Carroll should ever be a head coach again, I think that Bears job is probably perfect for him for a few years. Got a young quarterback. You got some talent on offense. The defense is playing well. You know he might be 74 years old, but he acts like he's 35. That might be like the last possible place that he could kind of do that college rah-rah type of buy-in like he did with Seattle, and only be able to really stay long enough before it wears off. So I would like to see him get one more opportunity. Everybody else, I don't know who the hell y'all going to get, Jalen. I don't know who the Patriots are.
Apparently Mike Vrabel is who we're after.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Well, I heard that he preferred the Raiders or the Jets job, is the report I saw on the ESPN ticker thing earlier today, is that he preferred the Jets or the Raiders. And I was like, damn, how bad are the Patriots where someone's like, I prefer the Raiders.
I saw
and the Jets.
Robert, the Jets ex-head coach Robert how you say his name. He interviewed with Jacksonville.
Yep.
So he'll probably end up there, but no matter what, Ben
Byron
Johnson is the hottest coach out there. So I think that Ben Johnson, nobody's going to get a job really until Ben Johnson gets a job. So I don't see any of these guys going anywhere, because I think everybody's going to have that guy. He's going to do a tour of all these teams, and he's going to have his pick of the litter of who he wants to go to. So
didn't Byron Leftwich interview for either the Jets or the Patriots job? I think Byron Leftwich, isn't he still the offensive coordinator for the Bucks?
Yeah,
isn't he? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he interviewed for one of the teams in the AFC East. I think he actually could be good, man. Because hey, all I'm saying is if you can make Baker Mayfield look like that, I mean, come on, man. Come on, Stefanski couldn't do it.
Let's hit some, I guess, trade. I don't even know what to call it trade, but Tyreek Hill suddenly unhappy as a Dolphin. Strangely enough, has one of his worst seasons as a wide receiver, and starting to get a little unsettled in Miami. Nestor, what you think of Tyreek Hill's comments?
I forgot who. These are nobody made a comment that I don't really like to watch sports news because at least the big ones, because they talk a lot of trash. When he got to Miami, he tried to motivate the team. That's all he tried to do. That's Tyreek Hill. He tries to talk and try and motivate the team. If he wants out because he's not seeing a future, which I don't blame him. just like Jimmy Butler. I don't blame these guys for not seeing a future on the damn team and wanting a better future for themselves. So honestly, it is what it is. There's not really, you know. So yeah.
The
Esther, you
problem
need a
is
hug, man. Esther needs a hug.
the problem
Somebody-
with the Dolphins
Somebody give
is
him a hug.
you're going to have to find somebody to trade him to, and
Panthers.
that's going to be a big key to him. The Panthers do have the money probably to be able to take him. They just got rid of Mingo, and they got rid of a few
Raiders.
other folks.
Send him to
So
hell.
they should have. Well, the Raiders will sign anybody. They don't give a shit. So, but if you want to talk about a good fit, I know that unfortunately, I've been wooing Tyreek Hill, but Dallas is not going to pay that money for Tyreek Hill like what they just paid CD. That's basically what you're paying for. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And they still got to pay Michael Parsons this year. So it's just not going to happen.
You know who will pay that money?
The Raiders.
I hate it. But there's two teams that'll pay that money, in my opinion. The Rams and the Cardinals will pay that money. The Rams will bring in people with big contracts and backload it and somehow still be able to pay other people, even though they're letting go of other people. I swear to God, if he ends up with the Rams, I'm going to be so goddamn angry. I think the Cardinals are a team that would be willing to do it and pair him with Marvin Harrison Jr. But I think at the end of the day, he's going to end up in Kansas City in 2026. They're not going to trade for him, but they'll wait for someone else to pick up the contract, then release him and take the dead money. And the only reason really why he wants out is because he thought he was one of the big cogs is the reason why the Chiefs were winning Super Bowls. And then they've won two without him. In that shine, he's not even in the playoffs now for the first time in his career. I can get the feelings in the moment, but I'm not even 100% sure that Miami is actually going to trade him. So I mean, they don't have to. He could hold out and lose money, but he likes money. So we'll see.
Yeah, I can't. I could see him going to Arizona. Arizona's made those types of trades in the past. You know,
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So they could do that. If he gets released, if Miami just says that's it, we're just going to release you. We'll take We'll take that hit. We'll take it this year, and we'll be done. Then any team. I don't see a reunion with Kansas City. I just don't see that happening. But I could see Dallas picking him up for like $2 million. $2 million, and Miami, because of the dead cap, they're paying him anyway, just like when Pittsburgh picked up Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. You pick him up for $2 million, and he's getting the rest of his money from Miami. Totally different than trading for him. But
you don't think Kansas City would put up a couple $1 million for Tyreek Hill? I mean, because we can say that Kansas City has still won a couple of Super Bowls, but Patrick Mahomes does not look like Patrick Mahomes. Like, there is a stark difference in his play in the regular season with and without Tyreek. And it only gets a little bit worse because his receivers keep getting banged up. I mean, for as small as he is, Tyreek is hella durable. Doesn't miss games.
No.
I don't know. He might be right, Gary, but I think might be a reunion at some point.
He doesn't miss games. His quarterback does. So.
Yeah.
Nestor, I feel so bad for you, man.
I think you're right.
I feel bad for him.
Perfect fit. With Cooper Kupp not being healthy right now, he gets hurt, and now he's, I would see him. Matthew Stafford only got what? Matthew Stafford's probably down to his last couple of years. I mean, Matthew Stafford been rocking since 2009, somewhere around there. He's down to his last couple of years, so I can see that if they want to make that big push, picking up Tyreek Hill.
If you had Kupp, Nakua, and Hill, Jesus, that'd make me so damned angry. I don't even want to think about it, Jalen. Forgetting about it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want it to be a thing I have to think about.
Right.
All right. Last news story before we get to community comments. We're going to talk about Jimmy Butler over there. The Jets do not plan on bringing back Aaron Rodgers or Devontae Adams next season. We've talked about this sort of throughout the past few months here on the show. So at this point, there's not too much more to say here. I'm just absolutely fascinated by how disastrous this whole thing went this past basically 2 years for the Jets. And if you guys have any quick thoughts?
Yeah, I said at the beginning of the season, Aaron Rodgers should have not have came back to this team. They tried to bring in Devontae Adams just to be a stopgap, maybe try to make a quick run or something, but it just wasn't going to work. They just don't have the infrastructure around this team to do it. If I'm Devontae Adams, I am glad I'm out. I'm looking for a team that's a contender, and I'm gone. And Aaron Rodgers needs to retire. Okay? Stop it. He needs to retire. It's not going to happen. It's over. It's done. He needs to go. Devontae Adams needs to find a team like the Cowboys that he can go to and make a difference.
Like the Cowboys.
I do not think Aaron Rodgers is going to retire. I do not. I think there is he's even. I don't know if you guys watched his Netflix thing that he has.
Hell no.
There's a Netflix special on him, and it really goes through his whole career and what he's gone through with the Jets and whatnot. There is an ego with him, but beyond the ego, there is such a belief in himself that I don't think you could talk him into thinking that he can't do it anymore, especially after that last game. Maybe if he had flamed out even that last game, maybe there's an opportunity. But there is such an ego and a belief in himself that I think he's going to land somewhere. I don't know where that's going to be. He'll go somewhere. And now that I think about it, the fact that you mentioned Devontae Adams, God, man, doesn't that sound like a perfect fit for the Chiefs?
Yeah, see, I was thinking
Does
that.
that not sound like a perfect fit for the Chiefs with Devontae Adams there?
Sound better with the Cowboys.
But you know what's going to happen, though, is that Rex Ryan is going to end up being the coach of the New York Jets.
Oh, God.
And they are going to somehow get some young quarterback, and Rex Ryan is going to make one or two more AFC Championship games at some point out of just ridiculousness. But he'll never make a Super Bowl, but it's going to be fun as hell to watch. I would love for Rex Ryan to be the head coach of the Jets again. I want that so bad, and for some reason he thinks he's going to get it. He thinks he's going to get it. I really hope
badmouthed. I mean, he badmouthed Vrabel, saying that he wasn't any good as a coach. He was a lot better. He's the only coach that's taken the Jets to the AFC Championship game twice. And I really wish they would have kept Aaron Rodgers, because I could just see him going, what the fuck? The fuck? Are you stupid? Come on, Aaron. The fuck is your problem?
Hey, could you guys imagine him getting another Aaron Rodgers tattoo next to the Matt Sanchez tattoo?
Oh, God.
Tattoo of his wife wearing an Aaron Rodgers jersey. That would have been golden. No, I really hope he becomes the coach of the Jets again, because first of all, I think they'd play better, because I do think he's a good head coach. He just had Mark Sanchez as his quarterback, and he didn't that was his biggest issue. If he'd have had Fitzpatrick and Brandon Marshall the years that he went to the AFC Championship game, that Jets team might have been able to make a Super Bowl. I think that defense is going to play better. You think of the people they got on that side of the ball, I think that'd be crazy if he gets there.
All right, let's get to some comments here. We're going to kind of combine this. Jimmy Butler requesting a trade here. So obviously Jimmy Butler, on two different sides of the table right now. He wants up out of there, understandably so. I asked our folks here on TikTok where they think Jimmy Butler is going to end up. Big Mike says that Phoenix is most likely in a three-team deal, but I like Houston. June proposed the question: is Jimmy even still worth it? Crossheart says Miami. Jimmy isn't worth max money. Basically, he ain't going anywhere. Prime all rough. At McDonald's.
She got double quarter pound.
China. So.
Oh shit! Dwight Howard. There you go.
Yep.
Vietnam.
Oh my God.
Further account for Dwight.
No, I did ask that question. Is he still worth it? Is Jimmy Johnson worth? Oh, Jimmy Butler.
Johnson.
It's Jimmy.
Shit.
Sorry,
Yeah, got Cowboys on the brain there.
Where
Exactly.
did you park the DeLorean?
Is Jimmy Butler still worth all this hype? And people are saying, "Oh my God, we got to put a Jimmy Butler watch on. Where is he going to go? Is he still worth it though? Is he still that guy?" And I'm like, no, he's not. At this point, he's a role player. At this point in his career, he's a role player.
I think he is in the playoffs. No, I think he is in the playoffs. I don't think he was ever meant to be a one. I don't think he's ever meant to be a one. Him as your one is never going to win a championship. I'm sorry,
that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying.
But the way that he is in his career, he wants to coast through the regular season and put it all out there on the line in the playoffs. Like if a team like Dallas, or I don't want to say Denver because they got Russell Westbrook. You can't have Jimmy Butler and Russell Westbrook on the same team. They be beating the shit out of each other in the locker room. You put him on a Dallas team, maybe. He already said he want. Now here's the problem with Jimmy Butler. Every day that you come out and he's saying there's another team he's not willing to go to. So in Milwaukee is one of those. I think he'd be good in Milwaukee, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Maybe even in Philly if Embiid was healthy, but he's never healthy. I don't see Phoenix simply for the fact that Miami's already said that we want no part of any trade that gives us Bradley Beal. And I think that's the only way they can get that done. So I think what's going to happen is that Steve Ballmer he's done being enamored with the amount of toilets he has in his arena. And he's going to want to do something to try to get Jimmy Butler with the Clippers. I think that would be just amazing. Jimmy Butler and his attitude and his whole demeanor in LA. I mean, if that's not TV, if that's not entertainment, I mean, are you not entertained with Jimmy Butler with the Clippers? I think that would be great. But I swear every day he comes out with another team we don't want to play for. I mean, fuck, send me Utah Jazz. I don't give a shit. But he's not doing nothing with the Heat.
No.
I mean, right now the Heat are getting lowballed anyway. We're not going to trade him for we're going to give you 2 second-round picks and this guy that's playing in the G League, but he's pretty damn good. And it's like, that's not what we want for Jimmy Butler. My guess is if they're not, if they don't get what they want, he'll just play out this season in Miami, or sit on the bench or do whatever. I mean, the Miami team isn't constructed correctly, and they've got salary cap issues. I could not believe the issues they have salary cap wise. I'm like, how the hell? You don't have anybody. Nobody that another team would say, yeah, that's my number one or that's my number two, and those are the guys that are going to take me to the playoffs.
Right.
Agreed. Yeah. Hey, I'll just say this: Pat Riley is only good when he can get a superstar in a trade. That's the only time he's ever good. He never won anything in Miami until he got Shaq with D Wade, and then he got LeBron James and Bosh in Miami. Unless he can convince another superstar to come to Miami, they're fucked, man. Because they have fumbled the cap. They have fumbled their contracts, just like G Money said, and they don't got anyone else coming anytime soon. All they got is a namesake of Heat culture. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
What
This
the
is
fuck
about
does
to
that
be a
even
15
mean?
win team. This is about to be a 15-win team for the next couple of seasons. I'm being dead serious.
You better get used to the words "trust the process," Nestor, because that's what they're going to be preaching all the time.
Exactly.
Pretty used to it with the Dolphins.
All right, let's use this last 15 minutes here and hit the ride or die in 5. Playoff edition,
Do it.
Wildcard weekend edition.
God damn! What is that?
Let's start off with
Oh.
Saturday first game. We've got the Chargers. We've got the Chargers at the Texans. Texans 3-point underdogs at home. G-Money, let's start with you. What do you like?
Looking at this, I got to go with the Chargers. I think they're better coached. I think Harbaugh has been playing well.
Mute, Jalen, mute.
And what I'm looking at, here's an interesting stat that I did not know. So, the last 7 wild card games that the Texans have played have all started at 3:30 Central Standard Time. Did not know that, and they're 5-2 in those games. Of course, they're also 1-5 against winning teams, and Chargers are a winning team. I think the Chargers coaching staff is a lot better than Houston's. I really do. Give me the Chargers minus the 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. It's really unfortunate because going into the season, I thought that the Texans were really gonna ascend past where they were last year in the playoffs, but they just are so banged up. And the Chargers are on the upswing here, better coached, and the fact that the 3-point favorites on the road, it's kind of hard to argue that. So give me the Chargers to cover. Maybe.
Yeah, one of the reasons why I'm totally fine with pushing that big board back another week is because my dumbass picked the Chargers to be the number 1 seed, I think. So if I picked them to be the number 1 seed and they're in the playoffs, they at least got to win a goddamn playoff game, right? They got to win one, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and take the Chargers to win this. Houston, still a good team, still up and coming. They still have to they're going to be one of those building teams. In like 3 years, you might see them in the AFC Championship game, but not yet. CJ Stroud, a little bit of a sophomore slump. It'd be a different story if they were healthy. If they had Stephon Diggs, maybe it'd be a different story. But they don't. That offense hasn't been the same. Taking the Chargers.
Nestor. Sorry.
You're muted, Jim.
Go ahead,
There you go.
Yeah, I agree. CJ Stroud's hit a bit of a slump. They're gonna need Mixon to really have a good game. Their running game is gonna have to be pretty good. So I still give me the Chargers. I just don't think the offense is gonna be enough. I think CJ will have a decent game, but offense has hit a bit of a slump, so I don't believe in them anymore.
June.
You're muted, buddy. Or maybe not. Something ain't working. Sign language. Horns up or down for Chargers. Hey, there he is. Oh, he's going Chargers.
Let's go ahead, Chargers.
He's going
Try
Chargers.
leaving and coming back. Horns suffered.
You gotta like the ingenuity there, people.
Yep.
The,
Modern technology.
No, we still can't hear
oh, no mute.
you.
Close your eyes. That's the spinning image.
I think
Hell,
it was
Keller.
the
Let's go.
sound.
let's.
All right, next game. Next
Yeah,
game.
we'll keep it moving. Let's do the night
Well,
game on Saturday. We've got the Steelers at the Ravens. Ravens are 9.5-point favorites at home. It's a big game here. Very big, dramatic game here. 9.5 points is a lot, and the Steelers have been in a big slide. The Ravens have not been in a big slide. 9.5 points. The Ravens are going to win this game. Like, they're going to win this game. I don't want to mix words here, but if you're going to give me 9.5 points, I'm going to take the Steelers and 9.5.
For cover.
We can now.
Oh, we hear you now. Ain't
Okay, you hear me?
Don't worry about it. Yeah, we
I
hear
know.
TV more than you. Don't worry.
Shut up.
All right, so you know what? I heard the same thing as you, Jalen. 9.5 points when you know the way that Baltimore normally plays in the playoffs. It's different than regular season Baltimore. And so until Lamar Jackson can kind of show that he can do regular season Lamar, the playoffs, I gotta go with the Steelers in the plus 9.5 because, like you said, I'm pretty sure Baltimore's going to win. Pretty sure they're going to win. But by 9.5, man, it's a huge, especially for a division rival.
Right.
That's just a lot. So I'm going to go Pittsburgh plus 9.5 on this one.
All right, let's keep it moving. Nestor.
Yeah, I agree. Ravens should win this one. Last time they played, it was the Ravens just went off on the Steelers, and they've been declining a lot. It just feels like they don't have anything going at the moment. But yeah, playoffs is just a different beast. So I'm gonna go with the not the Ravens, the Steelers.
And June.
Yeah, give me the Steelers to cover. I think the Ravens will win by just a touchdown. That's about it. But yeah, but give me the Steelers to cover that.
And you took the Chargers to cover last
I think in the chart, yeah.
All right. And then G Money.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with everybody else. 9.5 points is a lot. In fact, I'm seeing it 10 points in some places now. Baltimore's favored, and I
Yes.
can't put my finger on why because Tomlin is 2-1 in the playoffs against Harbaugh, against Baltimore, 3-0 against the spread, and Baltimore averages 16 points in all their playoff games. They've averaged a total of 16 points a game. I don't know what happens to Lamar. He's won 2 MVPs. He's won only 2 playoff games. Shit, Brock Purdy's won 4. Jimmy GQG has won 4 playoff games. I mean, but I think like all of you. I think Baltimore wins the game. I don't think they cover. I think you take Pittsburgh in the points.
That's why I say when we all lose this game, fuck you, Vegas. I just want to throw that out there.
Maybe halftime.
6 minutes,
They're
man.
like 10 already.
Yes. We've got,
They'll be up by 17 at halftime, and it'll be like, okay.
we've got 5 minutes to get through 3 games here, so let's power through.
All right, let's go.
Denver at Buffalo Sunday at 1:00. Buffalo is 9-point favorites at home here. Malin, go ahead.
This is in Buffalo. I'm taking Buffalo on this one. They're not playing the scout team of the Kansas City Chiefs, where they put up a zillion points, and Kansas City didn't want, Cincinnati to be in the playoffs.
Cincinnati to be in the playoffs. Yeah.
They didn't want Cincinnati in the playoffs. I think the Buffalo defense is going to play just a little bit harder. Josh Allen is on a mission. I'm taking Buffalo.
Nestor.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Buffalo because I feel like Denver might be feeling a little bit overconfident after beating the practice squad and the Chiefs. They're not as good. I mean, they've improved a lot, but they're not as good as we make them out to be. So give me Buffalo.
June.
Hey, give me Buffalo. That's it.
G Money.
There's only been 3 rookie quarterbacks to ever win a playoff game on the road in NFL history. Bo Nix
One is
will not
Russell
be the
Wilson.
4th. He is. Do you know who the others are? Never mind. We'll just move on.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that after the show.
Yeah.
Quiz me on that later.
So,
Yeah,
give me
I'm
Buffalo.
also unfortunately going to take Buffalo to cover 9 points here, which I hate. I absolutely hate that. All right, Sunday, 4:30, Green Bay at Philly. Philly is 4.5-point favorites. Nestor, we will start with you.
I don't believe in Green Bay at all, especially now. I don't feel like they have anything going. Jordan Love doesn't know who his main wide receiver is. And the running game, Josh Jacobs, I mean, they look hopeless. Last 3 or 4 games, they have looked hopeless. Give me Philly.
June.
I'm the opposite. I'm taking Green Bay, and I'm taking them to straight up win. So give me Green Bay.
Ooh.
Like Quan is going to lock.
You're not even going to take the 4.5? Take the 4.5, June. Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna cover the spread. Of course, they're gonna cover.
Oh,
the
okay.
spread.
Well, you got to say
I'm
that. You got to
saying-
be specific on this show.
Yeah.
You used to have a fathead Shaq say shit like that.
Yeah, he would.
He just used to-
No, we're taking Green Bay to cover the spread.
Okay.
Go ahead, G Money.
Yeah, I'm taking Philly. I think their defense is better. I think their run game is definitely better. Jalen Hurts looks like he's going to be starting. And there's a question about Jordan Love. So we'll see. But I'm taking Philly.
I'm also taking Philly. After, I can't remember, Green Bay receiver, but once he got hurt, he's out.
Oh, yeah, Golds.
Yeah, I still forget about Green Bay. Philly's having an outstanding year. They've got a legit shot to make some noise. 4.5 points shouldn't be a problem. Man.
Is Hurts out of the concussion protocol yet? Well, that's the only thing that makes me nervous.
Yeah,
Is he out?
He practiced. He's out. They said
Okay, he
out.
practiced today? Okay, then I'm taking Philly
he
all
practiced.
goddamn day. Well,
Yeah,
I'll
he's
take him on Sunday, take him on Monday. Hell, I'll take him out to dinner on Tuesday. Let's go ahead and take Philly in them points. Not the whole team, though. Not the whole team. Like the water boy. I'll take the water boy out.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right, last one.
Hey.
Fly through here. Sunday night game. Commanders coming to Tampa. Tampa's 3-point favorites. June, we're gonna start with you.
I'll take. Give me Tampa. Give me Tampa for the win. I don't believe in Washington on the road, and I think this is Jalen Daniels' first time out, and I don't think he's going to be ready for it.
All right. June.
Yeah, give me Tampa. Washington has the 3rd worst rushing defense in the league. And Tampa's been able to feast on defenses like that, averaging 138 yards a game. They're going to feed the rock to White and to their rookie running back. And yeah, Jaden may try to do a few things, but I just look at Tampa winning that home game.
I agree. I'm gonna take Tampa at home. This will be a great game. I think Jaden Daniels is going to have a great game, but Tampa is going to squeeze this one out by a field goal. So maybe a push. Nestor.
Normally, I wouldn't bet against Tampa, but I feel like this team is really good. No, I can't do it. No. I cannot bet against Tampa. Every time I bet against Tampa this season, I've lost. They're sound. Believe in Baker Mayfield. Give me Tampa.
And Malin.
Man, fuck Tampa Bay. God damn it. The city. Fuck the team. Fuck Baker Mayfield. Fuck the coaching staff. Fuck the goddamn grounds crew. I'm still taking Tampa minus the 3.
He's still
And that's the reason why I'm so goddamn angry is because they make me pick this team to fucking win. I hope they lose. But picking them to win,
down,
they
you
should
hope they
win.
win.
So just to recap here, as as I'm about to be kicked out here. We are all taking the Chargers to cover 3 points. We're all taking Steelers at 9.5 points. We're all taking the Bills to cover 9 points. June is taking the Packers plus 4.5. The rest of us are taking the Eagles, and then we're all taking the Bucks to cover 3 points. That
Oh, and
does
5.
sound
You know what?
correct.
Yeah, it does sound correct. You know what I'm about to say, Jim, before we get off this? Is that if it holds true when the four of us, I'm sorry, June, I know you picked one different team, but normally when the four of us, Ryder and I, we pick the same teams. My God, we're about to turn the playoffs on their fucking head. Like, it is about to be some bullshit when we all end up 2-3 and 1-4.
Ever, please.
10
And we go into this next week in like Kansas City and Detroit. Man, y'all need to send us some thank you cards.
E-money.
It is not too late for a Christmas gift.
Four
A
rookie
birthday is in May. Go ahead and send it now, because that is scary.
All right,
Mhm.
folks.
That is terrifying.
That's going to
All
do
right.
it for this week's episode. We want to thank you all for watching and listening. We will talk to you all next week. Have a good one. Peace out.
Peace out, guys.